everyone, I'm driving through the Cascades right now. It's absolutely beautiful. You can't really see it too well. I got some coffee at the Espresso Chalet or whatever it is. Chalet, I don't know. It's near Sky, Comish, Washington. Very good coffee. Just the fact that there's this chocolate covered coffee bean before I had the coffee just really set the tone for what this coffee was going to be like. Very classy. Coffee tasted fresh and had like this hint of chocolatiness to it. The guy serving it was very friendly and wasn't super judgmental of the fact that I said, hey, what's popular here? I'm just trying to tease out, what did they do best? He said, anything's good, everything's popular. Our special today is the Sasquatch or Snow Squatch. I didn't really get it what he said. I think it was kind of like a mocha thing with some other flavor in there. I'm not really sure. It's a mystery. Maybe I'll never find out. And if you're a fan of that movie, Harry the Hendersons, I haven't seen it. I heard it's hilarious. That movie, I guess, was filmed in that area. There's like this big Sasquatch statue like next to it. I did get to see Deception Falls. It's a nice set of falls and like wide waterfalls or waterfalls that have like rocks or stones. And the Solduck Falls in Olympic National Park were phenomenal. And there's what I call Second Duck Falls. I don't know what that's actually called. That's also very nice. That's just an example, what waterfalls are like. The tricky thing with lakes is that sometimes the sun makes them look not good. I don't do polarizing filters or neutral density filters. I just try to work on either finding the best timing, or if, I'm passing through the area and it's not the best timing, I take a picture of it just for memory's sake. Say, hey, I went there, it was really nice, but I'm fine if, it's not a marketable photo. For me, traveling is just like the number one favorite thing that I like to do. There's nothing that really motivates me more than that. My brother Reed and I have been camping throughout the Olympic National Park. We stayed at a little campground near Queens. It wasn't as private as the Solduck campground. For some reason, I slept a little bit better, and my brother agreed with that. I don't know if it was just the fact that we were used to sleeping in a tent 2 nights. And I was surprised I was able to sleep because there's like kind of a loud family in an RV next to us. We didn't have the best location. I was really kind of worried that we weren't going to get our campfire started at, it was like 10 at night, and we were just going to try to make some simple s'mores. Didn't have too many s'mores, but that campfire smell, I love that smell. Brings back so many memories of my awkward teenagehood. We're not too far from Leavenworth. I'm really excited to see what it looks like. The sky's actually clearing up now. I can see blue, and it looks really nice. It's very peaceful. And this is a happy spot right now. I'll keep you posted what Leavenworth's like. Peace out. Okay, so I've just arrived at my B&B in Leavenworth. Just take a look at, what it looks like. I think that's not in the bathroom here. And panda bear's a nice touch. I love pandas. It's like a lotus flower. I'm just gonna get my bearings here and head downtown and check that part out. Hey everyone, John is back. The latest report on his journey. I spent the night in Leavenworth and I got to have a really nice B&B experience there. And Leavenworth was a pretty cute town. A place I went for dinner called Ludwig's. So many restaurants to pick. I had to find like one thing that I really wanted to see. The only one that had like an accordion player. It's just this sweet old guy. Service was a little funky because it seemed like I kind of had to like advertise myself as a customer. I ordered the garden schnitzel, was like chicken or pork schnitzel with arugula. That's not what I got, but still it was pretty darn good because I was hungry, so I was gonna eat anything. I'm pretty sure it was chicken. I know it wasn't pork. That came with pasta, which was not listed on the menu for garden schnitzel. And then I had the German chocolate cake, which, had coconut in it, so I didn't eat all the coconut, but it was a fine cake. I just don't think it was the best cake I've ever had in my entire life. There was a very nice Canadian family from Vancouver. Son, he's like, oh, are you making a video or something? Yeah, I'm doing a little bit of a travel log, and I did a geocache and got the Washington State souvenir, so that was nice. Someone that I connected with on the geocaching app messaged me and said, hey, geocaching headquarters are in Seattle. She said there's a lot of people that go there and try to get that, but they don't ever really get the chance to do that. And next morning, I had breakfast at the B&B, and it was with a family of 3. Originally came from Beijing, and now they live in San Jose. I asked son, so I was like, oh, what do you do to keep yourself busy? He says, oh, I work at a company. I asked, oh, which company? He's like, Google. Okay, well, you could have just told me that right off the bat. I know what that is. And I drove over to Wenatchee, Washington. Apparently, it's the Apple capital of the world. I know this because it said so on the road sign, so I think they're pretty serious about that claim. I've been seeing a lot of orchards ever since I passed Wenatchee. And Wenatchee, there was this guy named Agate Stone. He said, oh, nice camera. Then he gets into this thing, and he has like $8 billion because he lives in his car, which is ridiculous, but at the same time, what a commentary on the cost of living. Then he's like, oh, I want to go to Mars just so I can say I was there and like become the president of it or something. And then he announces his candidacy for the president of the United States.
Hey, everybody, just get stoned. The thing I'm trying to do is run for president of the United States. Not joking. I volunteered to be president. How about that? If you vote for me, Agate Stone, I will be your president. Then the United States of America becomes the country that we get to secede from because nobody has a president to follow. The leader doesn't exist. There's nothing written in the Constitution for this. I don't know, maybe there is. You fact check it. We secede, then become the United States of terra firma.
Now I'm driving through 97 North. This feels like a completely different state. You feel like you're driving in Idaho. It's bone dry. My goal is to make it up to Marble Mount. I ended up just buying this national park pass. North Cascades National Park is a freebie, so I still have to find one other national park to pay off the pass. That's about it for now. Hey, so I just arrived in Twist, Washington, and I just noticed that an official ballot drop box for Okanogan County in Washington State and Oregon, they don't have to wait in line for voting. Mail it in a drop box. Now I'm just gonna head out and take a look at this town here and see what's going on. In Twist, I went to a restaurant that claims to have the best burgers in town, so I went there. I love a good burger, and it was indeed a very good burger because it had a buttered bun. Patty was cooked to perfection. And interestingly enough, they were playing 80s music videos on MTV Classic, which was an interesting choice considering that the owner did not strike me as a Gen Xer. Now I'm heading up the Cascade Loop to Winthrop. All right, so I'm John, and you guys are?
I'm Mayo.
Mayo, and you're coming from where in Germany?
From Hamburg.
Hamburg. I just had a hamburger. All right, so I'm taking some hamburgers up to Rainy Lake. Are you looking at Blue Lake as well, or just
Rainy Pass.
Rainy Pass, and then you're gonna take the trail up there. Okay, I'm taking them up the Rainy Lake. It should be fun. So, you guys are taking the Rainy Pass Trail and you're heading up into Canada, right?
We are.
Okay, and so what's your game plan?
We're thinking like 6 days.
6 days?
Just to Canada and back out of Hartspurs.
What were you doing before you got to Mazama?
Before we were in Mazama, we were in Winthrop for 2 nights.
Okay.
Before that in Darrington, and before that we were hiking on the PCT.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And you've been here for several months now. So
yeah.
yeah, pretty exciting what you're doing, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your journeys. And is there a Rainy Lake nearby, or is that?
I think Rainy Lake was actually on the way back. We might have passed it.
Okay. All right. Well, enjoy. Have fun.
Yeah, you have
It was
a great
nice
travel
meeting
too.
you.
You too.
got a chance to go to the Buffalo Run Inn. It's an interesting name, like, oh, I had a run-in with buffalo. Very Wyoming, very Wyoming. Tatanka, buffalo, bison, you know, Native American quilt design patterns and whatnot. But yeah, so a 10% off on the service for those who stayed at the inn. And my room was fantastic. It's got like 2 queen beds in there, and I only need like 1. Lady checking me in is like, only 1, right? Only 1, right? I was like, yes. She probably asked me that like 3 times. I'm traveling alone. People ask questions like, isn't it a little weird that you're traveling alone? You've got this huge room and no one to share it with. The check-in took like 15 minutes, it felt like. Because everything they were doing everything like by hand. So I'm just like, the service was very good at the restaurant, but it's like, it's the check-in. I had the chicken and wild rice, which is very good, and I also had a white chocolate cappuccino. That was really nice. It's also really nice to be at a place where there's Wi-Fi. Seattle right now. I'm just gonna go over where I was in the past few days. I was heading toward the Thornton Lakes. What's really sad is that when I got all the way to the end, I was like so tired. I didn't have enough oxygen in my brain to process the fact that my exposure settings were like way off. Photo ended up being overexposed and blurry, and I went through all that work just to get that one photo. Maybe I can just give it to an artist and hey, paint this, and then that way it won't look so bad. Impressionist. Then I took a ferry to the San Juan Islands. It was almost like taking a mini cruise. I have taken a few ferries, Peaks Island from Portland, Maine, Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard. Unlike Nantucket, like you actually get to see stuff on the way to Friday Harbor. That's where I went. You get to see like Blakely Island, I think Shaw. If you're lucky, you'll see seals, lots of birds. I got to see at least 3 seaplanes take off, which is pretty cool. That'll get you going. I got to Friday Harbor around like 3 o'clock. By the time it hit 5 o'clock, I'm just like, I'm ready to go home. Like for me, I think there could have been more like art galleries, a few more cultural things. But I should mention the fact that there was this very nice family that I got to sit next to on the way back. The middle generation, the parents had moved from North Carolina to Washington State, and they were there with their son and daughter. I guess it was the mother of the father there that had flown in from North Carolina to visit. And then there was another group of 3 people that brought their dog. She was shaking because she was nervous. The ferry ride was actually more enjoyable than just doing Friday Harbor. And then I drove down to Deception Pass State Park just the right time, like just a few minutes before sunset. I mean, compared to the morning where that was just miserable. Then I drove down to my cousin Rick's house. It's just a very calming presence. My cousin Rick is also wickedly smart. We ended up going to St. George State Park and took like a short hike to Lake Washington. We foraged some blackberries, which were very, very sweet for August. Then I went to return my rental car downtown, and I was like, where is the rental car facility? Like, if you know anything about Seattle, there's like all these one-ways, and the streets are not very forgiving if you miss your turn. If you miss your turn, that's like another 4 minutes. If you miss it 3 times, like me, you've wasted 15 minutes of your life. You know, once I dropped that off, I spent some time downtown, but I was carrying my luggage, went down to Pike Place Market, which isn't too far from the rental facility, and got some chowder poutine where they just smothered the french fries with chowder instead of gravy, and then got some simple ice cream. But now I'm at my Airbnb in West Seattle. It's much less intense than downtown. Got until Saturday until I head up to my cruise in Alaska, the first cruise I've ever done. I'll be doing some stuff tomorrow and catch you on the flippity flip.